by hopefully one or two of the young lads, Ian Kennedy or Ian Hart, making a hell of a good impression.
And away we go in the first half, where Ireland, of course, playing from right to left in this familiar green shirts. The wind not really assisting either side. It's really blowing across the pitch towards the cameras. And the stadium about 70% full. We expected a big crowd here in Bucharest, but surprisingly not full for this World Cup tie. Mark Kennedy back covering. Petrescu getting forward. He'll be playing wide on the right, and this is Hadji. That's the challenge of Kennedy, and trying to get Selimesh inside the fullback. Cleared away by Dennis Irwin.
Immediately from the start, you can see the impression of the Irish side. They are lining out with 5 across the middle of the park. You'll see a lot of balls knocked forward to Connolly, but he's going to have a hell of a hard job to hold anything. He's playing against 3 main defensive players, and it's going to be particularly difficult for him. He's in there literally to run about.
Petrescu finds Popescu, and this is Petrescu. Back to one of the centre-backs, Dobosh. Petrescu back to the other centre-back, who will be the sweeper, Prodan. And Selimesh joining the attack. Cut out by Roy Keane, who tries to get the players to push forward. And then the ball over the top, looking for Selimesh. Covering from Gary Kelly. And the ball had gone out for the throw-in. A quiet opening. Romania's manager was quoted as saying that he'd be happy enough with a draw. Although you'd wonder about that, considering they've started with 5 wins. Free kick then. Big man getting forward from the back, swung towards the far post to Petrescu, and headed behind by Mark Kennedy to give Romania their first corner kick of the match.
I think a view of that free kick there would show exactly what we've got on hand. There were 11 Irish players in our own penalty area as that free kick was taken. So it's going to be especially difficult for any front player, particularly a small and a relatively new player like David Connolly, to make any sort of impression here.
Petrescu is on the near post. 4 Romanian players at the far, but played short by Hadji. Trying to get past Kennedy. But back here for Petrescu. Chance for him to cross. Kelly trying to get the tackle in. Gets the cross in. And that's off Staunton's head for another corner kick. All the pressure coming from the men in yellow. And Ireland funneling back behind the ball. Only David Connolly forward. And he's being watched by 2. Everybody else around the box. Corner swung in. Punched away by Kelly. But straight to Petrescu, who wasn't afraid to have a go from all of 30 yards. And into the arms of Alan Kelly. The referee saw an infringement in there, gave the free kick to Ireland. So a chance for Ireland to play the ball in the Romanian half for the first time in this opening 3.5 minutes. It's very noticeable when the teams are lining up for the anthems that the Romanians were physically much bigger than the Irish team, and that's another problem that we're going to have to contend with tonight.
They look stronger, but it's really their pace that's going to be our main concern. Young Ian Hart is a particularly good header of the ball, although he hasn't been playing centre half. But he is especially strong in the air, so I don't expect too many problems there.
Hadji picking up the wide white berth, and a lovely through ball, which almost found Moldovan. Kelly quickly off his line to cover. And just holding the ball up, giving Ireland that few precious seconds to settle into this game, which so far they haven't. Looking for Connolly, won by the Romanian defence. This is Petrescu. Under pressure from Kennedy. Still in play, Staunton to Townsend. Over the top for Connolly. Nobody in the centre for him. Forced to look back to Mark Kennedy. Now there's a couple there for the cross, including Gary Kelly, who was blocked by Selimesh, and it was easy for Stella to get his first touch. Staunton's header. And Cunningham back to Alan Kelly, winning his 18th cap tonight. Made his debut against Wales back in '93. Townsend beaten in the air by Filipescu. Staunton coming across to take it. Option in the centre of defence. But he's playing at left back, and there's Townsend with it. First all the way back to Kelly. Under pressure from Townsend, no free kick. And then Staunton with the tackle. This time the referee does blow his whistle. Staunton coming in on the back of the most experienced Romanian player of all time, actually winning his 105th cap tonight, 29 goals as well for his country, and he's certain to be a threat tonight. He and Petrescu standing over the ball, just two forwards. Filipescu now moving up.
In that incident there, you can see Hadji's experience come through. He bought that.
Here he is taking on Townsend. It's a back heel for Popescu, and did he handle that? No free kick, so Kelly has to clear under pressure. And a nice little touch by Munteanu keeps possession for Romania. Irwin's header, and he's won the free kick. Romanians preparing to take it. Obviously they had won one on a previous infringement. Tipped forward. Cleared by Cunningham. So far the game without shape. Except that Romania have had most of the territorial possession, but without threatening Alan Kelly in the goal. This free kick, Kennedy and Gary Kelly have moved forward to support the front man Connolly. There's Connolly going up for it, breaks for Townsend, brings Staunton into the game. Kennedy back to Staunton, looking for Ray Houghton, headed clear by Dobosh. And here he is again. Being pushed by the centre forward, Viera Moldovan. Plays in Switzerland with Grasshopper. Free kick looking for Mark Kennedy. Beats Petrescu in the air. And Connolly might get onto this. Lets it go though for the corner kick, Ireland's first. And it's Gary Kelly coming across to Mark Kennedy as Ian Hart and Kenny Cunningham move forward. Dennis Irwin, the last Irish defender, but he's in the Romanian half, and all of the Romanian team are back defending. And Kennedy's corner kick was aimed towards Cunningham, who was just nudged there, but the free kick given against the Irish player. And that'll be a chance for Romania to take the free kick from inside their own box. No real pace in the match so far. Both sides seemingly content with the pace of the affair so far. And there's a small section of the Irish support. Just over 1,000 here in Bucharest for this first ever game in Romania for an Irish team. Filipescu. Spread across to Daniel Prodan. Silimesh back to Prodan. Looking for Moldovan. And that's Ian Hart doing the defending.
Unfortunately, in clearances like that, although he's just whammed the ball away, that ball is going to come back twice as quick. Somebody has to grab hold of the ball in the middle of the park and try and set some pattern for it. There hasn't been a pattern emerging so far, and it's most unusual to see Gary Kelly stuck wide on the touchline.
Dennis Irwin beaten in the air. Cross comes Cunningham. Free kick given against Ireland. And it's left Here's Moldovan, gives it away. Here's Roy Keane. Irwin. The long ball looking for Ray Houghton. The header by Dobosh. Commentary position here in the Stour Stadium is right on the halfway line. So we've a great view of what we hope will be a good performance from this Irish team, a very new-looking Irish team. And they've won a free kick. That was Roy Keane on the run, taken down. Roy Keane, just one of two Irish players on the pitch at the start who go into the game with a yellow card. Ian Hart is the other one.
I think we could see Steve Staunton line this one up and actually go for it. We won't get too many chances here tonight, and these are the sort of things that we need something good to happen for us. We've got to be positive on these.
Well, he has scored 6 times for Ireland in the past, and he goes for one there, but straight at Stela. Bogdan Stela, the goalkeeper. First shot on target though for Ireland, and that's encouraging. Hadji with the long clearance over the top. No Romanians forward, and all the way through to Alan Kelly. Four pushing up closer to the midfield, and it's won by Filipescu and Petrescu. Hadji back to Dobosh, and Petrescu picks it up.
That's the sort of space there that the Romanians are enjoying. They're not under any pressure when they receive the ball in the middle of the park, and we're not closing them down at all. The likes of Petrescu isn't such a good player when he's receiving the ball and somebody's snapping at his ears. There again, you see the amount of space. They're dictating the play completely at the moment.
And Muntiano trying to find Selimesh, but he was offside. Made the run just a fraction of a second too soon, and the free kick to Ireland. It's going to be a difficult night for David Connolly, trying lonely further up front, and an awful lot of space to close down when the Romanians have the ball deep. Gary Kelly beaten in the air by Selimesh, headed on by Muntiano, and out off Moldovan. You can hear the cheers in the background as the Mexican wave goes around the stadium. From Townsend, and some space for Ray Houghton. Cleared away under some pressure by the Romanian defence, but here's Mark Kennedy. Lots of green shirts forward this time. Keane to Staunton. 4 to aim at in the centre, and it's off Dan Petrescu for the throw in. But that was a pretty good chance for Ireland, and Ray Houghton was very quickly closed down by the two centre-backs.
That was a typical Ray Houghton run. He's brilliant at ghosting in behind players. He did that. The ball didn't bounce favourably for him, but it's nice to see him getting forward. We've got to be positive and do this.
Staunton's cross towards the near post. Headed down and cleared by Popescu. And here's Moldovan. Won back by Kenny Cunningham. And Staunton with the early ball to Connolly, who's got in past the first man. And the second defender, Dobosh, had to be smart to get across and cover. That was a lovely through ball, and much better from Ireland, who are taking the game to the Romanians. Houghton and Kennedy. Back to Houghton, looking busy, and clear. Straight to Townsend, who finds Staunton. Over the top. No offside, or is there? There is a late flag from the linesman on the far side. It certainly wasn't Keane who was off, but the player running back who wasn't really interfering with play, and it's a free kick to Romania. Dobosh and Frodan slowing things down, picked up by Popescu, who keeps coming deep in the midfield to receive the ball from his defenders. A run from Adrian Illy. Gone out of play, obviously curled back over the touchline, so we throw into Ireland. Irwin headed on on by Keane. And the push by Connolly gives the free kick to Romania. They got on with it pretty quickly. And in fact, referee not really showing any decisiveness in his signals, and the free kick had actually gone to Ireland. So, chance for the green shirts to get forward. Gary Kelly pushing up the right flank. Connolly making a little run, and Townsend now joining him. It's aimed towards Connolly. Harmlessly out of play. That's a free kick really wasted by Dennis Irwin.
I think there was a misunderstanding with Gary Kelly and Dennis Irwin. He expected them to make a run on the outside, and Gary just stuck through the line.
Bogdan Spela, who plays here in the Stoya Stadium for Stoya Bucharest. Looking for Moldovan. Won by Hart, but straight to Hadji, and he's got Petrescu to his right. With a chip over the top, and Alan Kelly comfortably in charge on his 6-yard line. Hadji really in two minds there, whether to cross or shoot. Well, 16 or so minutes gone, and the Romanians have been quiet so far, which is just what Mick McCarthy would have wanted. The crowd not so noisy as they were in the opening 5 minutes. But there's a long way to go. And it's throw down, the long ball looking for Illy. Moldovan inside, and the help back there by Kenny Cunningham to Aaron Kelly. Won by Popescu. Throw down. And this kick from him gives Ireland the throw in. And in no real hurry to take it. Houghton. Gary Kelly. Ball forward, easily cut out. Popescu. Filipescu running into some space. Moldovan to his right, Illy to his left. And a poor pass which Ian Hart can deal with, and he makes a good ball up the field to Connolly, but he's all alone, and across comes the tackle from the centre-back. Throw down. Kennedy, Staunton, Keane, and the pressure straight away from Hadji, who clipped his heels and gave away the free kick. Taken quickly to Staunton. 3-2 match. One of them is Connolly. Houghton is there in support, but he couldn't control it. Goal kick to Romania.
I think Connolly was unlucky there. He got a bit of a bad bounce. And so far, Connolly's been impressive, not just in running, closing players down, but his actual positive runs. He's made a lot of space, and he's got there first. We've got to get players up who can feed off him, because when he received the last ball there, unfortunately, he'd nobody to lay the ball off to. You've got to get closer to him.
If anything, the wind stronger now than it was at the start of the game. And the pitch just a little bit bumpy, but playing better than we expected. They did a lot of work on it today, watering and sanding and so forth, and it's certainly playing all right. Lots of grass anyway. Dennis Irwin. Gary Kelly outside. Flipped on, looking for Houghton. Covering players Munteanu. And that's a very poor ball from him. Straight to David Connolly. You're going to have to shoot here. And Stelia saved that with a part of his anatomy, which just about kept Romania at 0-0. What were they doing in defence? The Romanian team at 6th and 7th, and Connolly with a superb chance.
It was. This was an amazing pass across the goal. Connolly did well here. He took it. He had no option but to shoot. There was nobody in support. And it was a good shot.
Corner kick. Popescu can't clear it. And almost Connolly in again. No offside flag. And it came off a Romanian defender, so another corner for Ireland. So despite all the predictions of a big defeat, this has so far been an excellent performance by the Irish. They can stay forward for Mark Kennedy's corner. Cunningham and Hart in the box. Aimed to the far post. and one in the air by Ian Hart, but he couldn't really direct it, and it's behind for the goal kick.
Tremendous leap there from Ian Hart. His timing in the air is very, very good. As I said earlier on, he's a particularly good header of the ball. We've got to get him into positions where he might be able to head the ball on the move from free kicks. There he was just standing.
Well, there's no doubt that Mick McCarthy is the happier manager at the moment. The experienced Angel Iordanescu must be wondering what his team are about. 5 wins out of 5 so far in this World Cup campaign. Ireland badly needing a result to get their campaign back on the rails. And they're playing at the moment like they mean business. Mark Kennedy, right back in a defensive position, and a poor kick by Hart, which allows Petrescu to cross. That was poor defending. Montiano couldn't make the most of it. And Montiano trying to find Ili. Selimesh, Filipescu inside. And here's Hadji. Petrescu down the line, but he loses out to Mark Kennedy, and Connolly is moving into a good position, but offside. The defence just moved up. The pass delayed a fraction of a second too late, and Connolly's efforts to get away from his marker unhinged by the offside flag. Staunton. Townsend to Kennedy. Keane, who's been quiet so far. They know he's the big threat, and they've been watching him closely. Staunton had a long, aimless ball, picked up by Dobosh. Filipescu. Daniel Prodan. This international side that Romania have, 9 of the starting 11 who play abroad. 2 of them with Galatasaray in Turkey. And they've won themselves a throw-in. Montiano to receive it. Selimesh with the cross. And Mark Kennedy is back there, deep in his own half, helping Steve Staunton with the defensive duties. Petrescu to take the throw in. Finds Hadji. Petrescu is available. Staunton forcing him all the way out into deep midfield. And that was well watched by Irwin as he waited for Kelly to come out.
I think that's going to be a very, very important thing for the Irish people, for the Irish team tonight, to keep Hadji as deep as possible. He's at his most dangerous on the edge of our penalty area, where he's capable of splitting open any defence with a swift pass. If we can play him in his own half, then at least he can't do us too much damage. And so far, Stevie Staunton's done very well against Hadji.
Well won in the air by Connolly. Cleared by Selimesh under pressure from Gary Kelly. So a chance for Dennis Irwin to get forward. And the throw in to Ireland. Houghton coming short. Kelly back to Houghton. Can't find him. Cunningham. And here's Cunningham again. No offside against Connolly. And Townsend trying to join the attack. Cross half blocked. And taken away by Daniel Prodan. But again, Ireland behind the last line of Romanian defenders. Filipescu under pressure from Townsend. Vika Popescu. That's Adrian Ili. The ball forward looking for Moldovan, easily cut out by Cunningham. To Keane. Gary Kelly. Blocked by Selimesh. Throw-in goes the way of Ireland, and you can see Mick McCarthy there on his feet and urging his troops on. He's hardly stopped talking since the start of this match. Staunton. Cross cut out by Popescu. Good tackle by Irwin. Free kick given. Irwin wonders why.
I'm not so sure about that. It was 6 of one, half a dozen.
Popescu for Romania. Very poor ball cut out by Townsend, and Connolly to Mark Kennedy, who can't keep it in. "20 minutes to go to the break, and so far Alan Kelly less busy than his opposite number. Pescu dropping deep to pick it up. Hadji hugging the right touchline. The pass taken on the breeze, which is blowing towards us across the pitch. And this is Roy Keane. Staunton looking for Connolly. And Pescu, the defender, he took it well in his chest, did Connolly. The pass cleared there by Dobosh. Cunningham's head straight to Filipescu. One back by Houghton. Pushing by Filipescu. Free kick to Ireland.
You know, Steve, we can't overemphasise how well young Connolly's doing up front for us. He's only a small guy, but he's battling away. His runs have been excellent, and the timing of his runs have been particularly good. There he goes again. He's linking everything together and having a particularly good game for us, which is nice to see.
Gary Kelly, and the free kick won by that push in the back on Ray Houghton. So, position of some danger for the Romanian defence. Chance for Ireland to get players forward. Ian Hart has come up. Roy Keane has moved into the box. And again, all 11 yellow shirts of Romania back behind the ball. That's Mark Kennedy placing, Gary Kelly in fact placing the ball. There's Andy Townsend, Ray Houghton standing over it. Even Steve Staunton has joined the attack here. He's in the D. Gary Kelly to chip it over. Looking for Kenny Cunningham. And it's cleared away. There's Dennis Irwin. And all the way back to Kelly. A lot of green shirts have stayed forward. And they've stayed on side as well. Long kick from Kelly straight through to Bogdan Stela. Dobosh. Popescu. Prodan. To Hadji. Muntiano. Back to Hadji. Popescu inside him, the number 6. We run from Petrescu forward. Staunton can clear. Connolly to chase after this one. Out comes Stela, has to head it. And Prodan finds Popescu. Back to Prodan. Filipescu. Spili looking for Moldovan. Mark Kennedy's header. Game going through a scrappy phase. Both sides giving it away. Both teams too playing very cautiously when the other has the ball.
I think the scrappy phase is suiting us a lot better than them. We're quite prepared to scratch and to walk away and to battle, where we expected a much more fluid performance from the Romanians.
Stunt. Connolly was pulled back there. Referee didn't see it. Filipescu. Nicely taken on his body by Moldovan. Held back by Hart to Kelly. A lot of pace on that one. Put Kelly under pressure, but cool work by the Irish. Hart finding Staunton, and here's Keane in some space.
It's good play from the Irish team. Very good defender from Ian Hart.
Dennis Irwin finds Ray Houghton. And he's dispossessed by Dobosh. Billy tackled strongly by Townsend, who won the ball but gave away the free kick right under the nose of the referee. That kind of physical challenge obviously doesn't agree with referee Mario van der Ende from Holland.
A tremendous tackle from Andy Townsend, and that's what we need. He's putting himself about in there. They don't fancy that. None of the continentals fancy that sort of tackling. And yet, it was barely a foul. He won the ball.
Filipescu. Petrescu on the right touchline. Goes inside instead to Popescu. And little good Georgie Hadji taking on Houghton. Two of the more experienced players tonight. Nasty play. Montiana. Cross towards Petrescu as a free header. And a shot from Moldovan, which he couldn't keep on target. But that just shows you one moment and the Irish defence unhinged. That was a good chance.
That is the problem. You'll see here that Mark Kennedy is the guy, is our player who lost his man. If we lose our concentration for one split second, they're capable of breaking us down. Up to now, everybody, particularly across the back, is concentrated, and we haven't made mistakes. The likes of Mark Kennedy, when he's defending, must act as a total defender. Forget about his forward duties.
Several of the Irish substitutes warming up on the far touchline. Terry Phelan, Tony Cascarino, Gary Breen. And this free kick for Ireland to be taken by Dennis Irwin. Keane has moved into the box. Connolly, Kennedy and Andy Townsend also there. Romanians trying to play the offside game. And the two centre-backs just about getting it away, but straight to Ian Hart. And offside against Gary Kelly, I think. And maybe also Dave Connolly. Free kick to Romania. Dobosh to Filipescu. As we look at the replay of the offside.
We did in fact have both players offside on that particular incident.
Throw down. Cut out by Houghton. Ireland breaking up the Romanian passing game very effectively indeed. And that's a good interception by Petrescu. He finds Filipescu. Mark Kennedy would have been through there had Petrescu not covered. Silimesh. Hadji. Tackled by Townsend, but he gets away from him. Silimesh kept running. Chip forward. Looking for Montiano. Comes down for the Romanian, and it's 1-0 against the run of play, but that's the concentration we were talking about. Adrian Illy, the Galatasaray forward, has put Romania ahead. His second goal for his country in his 13th cap. Brilliantly taken, it has to be said, but poor defending.
You'll see on that replay that Ian Hart won the ball so easily that he was trying to knock it down to one of his own players. It's just a misplaced header. Instead of a clearance, which would have been a header maybe 20, 30 yards, he tried to knock it down to one of his own players, misplaced the header, and that's what happens. We go one down. Here you see him, I think it's Ray Houghton trying to knock it down too. Misplaces it, but that's a superb finish from the Romanian.
Yes, Romania ahead, and that's brought the crowd to their feet. All the good work by the Irish in the first 32 minutes or so mean absolutely nothing now. And it's going to be a completely different atmosphere to the match from here on in. Yellow card there against Dennis Irwin for that tackle. So Dennis Irwin becomes the third player on the field so far holding a card. And the goal scorer, the man who felt that, Adrian Illy, 23-year-old, plays with Galatasaray in Turkey. And here's the incident again.
Yeah, it was a free kick.
Very late. The referee didn't have much choice there.
You know, it's amazing after over half an hour the Romanians haven't really created a chance, and yet they've gone a goal in front.
And they had a free kick which they took and was cleared by Ireland. Yes, just before the goal was scored, Ireland have shown a lapse in concentration in defence, and at this level you just can't afford it. Mark Kennedy running it back from Petrescu, but the foot was high and the free kick given to Romania. the break. No doubt there won't be any major changes up to half-time, and then maybe Mick McCarthy can consider his options. But it just goes to show those couple of half chances that Ireland had earlier in the game, how important it is to take those. Instead of being a goal up, we find ourselves one in arrears and with a real mountain to climb. And there's another yellow card against an Irish player. It's Gary Kelly this time who's been given the yellow card. So in quick succession, goal on 33 minutes by Illy, and 2 bookings, one against Irwin, one against Gary Kelly. And Romania all of a sudden in charge of this match.
I think it could be to do with a lot of frustration from Gary Kelly. I'm a great admirer of Gary Kelly as an attacking fullback, but he's receiving the ball as a forward, and it's something that he's not used to. He's out on the touchline, he's receiving the ball with his back to their goal instead of running onto it, and if any of the players look misplaced, he surely does.
And here come Romania again. The goal scorer Illy finds Moldovan. Spread wide by Munteanu to Selimesh. Munteanu, Popescu. Dobosh. Bodan. And Filipescu in some space. And tackled by Keane, but he gets away from him. And here's Filipescu with the shot, which never troubled Alan Kelly. But more space for the Romanians, very noticeable there. Maybe the Irish just dropping a little bit deeper now since they gave away the goal, which is always the inclination.
There's Gary Kelly now aside of him, and I would much prefer to see him breaking onto the ball as a right full or as a right-sided midfield player even. But to receive the ball as a front player is particularly difficult for a defender.
And he can't keep it in play. Throw in to Ireland. Oh, to Gary Kelly. Hooked on for David Connolly. Tried to turn inside his man. And won the free kick. This referee is very particular about physical challenges, especially from behind. And that certainly didn't look like any more like a free kick than some of the ones that Ireland have given away. But the chance for Ireland to get forward. Mark Kennedy placing the ball. You can see all the players forward, including Hart and Staunton. And it comes out for Ray Houghton, who has Keane to his left. Stayed onside, looking for the angle for a shot. And here's Houghton. And it might break for Townsend. Back to Keane once more. Gary Kelly. Cross, looking for Dave Connolly, but Scala saw it coming and held it comfortably. Hadji. Selimesh to Illy. And the flag raised. The throw in to the Irish. Much movement for Dennis Irwin. Gary Kelly. Hampton to Irwin. Gary Kelly and pressure from Selimesh. And the Romanian player went through there on Dennis Irwin, who, as you can see, is feeling the pain of that challenge. What's the referee going to do here? Definitely writing something in his notebook. And let's hope it wasn't Irwin who was the guilty party, because he's already been booked. And he certainly isn't moving towards a Romanian player, though there is one of them down injured. I can't quite see who the Romanian player involved was. Yes, it's Hadji. And the referee waiting until he's received his attention before he gives him a yellow card. Hasn't been a dirty game, and yet here we are, 40 minutes into the game, and we've got 3 yellow cards. Very strange.
Just smiling there at the referee. This is the incident here now. I don't think there was anything at all in that. Two players going for the ball, but the way yellow cards are being flashed nowadays, you're not surprised to see them come out.
Petrescu wins it back to Romania. Filipescu tackled by Roy Keane. And Hagi rejoins the action. Romania back to 11 men. Ian Hart. Looking for Staunton. Header from Petrescu. Helped on by Filipescu. Moldovan. And he kept running to receive the return pass from Illy. And the early ball, which Alan Kelly gathered with some ease, though he was under quite a lot of pressure there. And here's Staunton. Conley making a darting run to try and keep onside, but just went a moment too soon. He did well, but the defender knew what he was about and just left him the other side of him.
That's unlucky for the striker. He literally has to react in split seconds. And now and again, particularly when you're playing up front on your own, you've got to take those chances and say a prayer that you're going to be onside. The ball will come through just as you make your move.
Filipescu. Nice kick, but he still finds Filipescu. Dobosh. Filipescu. 8 World Cup goals already in this group. And Hagi with the arrogant flick that didn't come off. Houghton to Townsend. Connolly again pulled away well. Found some space. And he's got Gary Kelly going outside him. Goes inside instead to Townsend. Switch to Staunton. Staunton had his eyes on the goal there. A lot of green shirts in the box. He might have been better off to look for a cross or a pass there on the edge of the box. Pescu picking it up again from the centre backs. Dobosh back to Pescu. Filipescu. Throw down. Tackle from Gary Kelly. Throw into Romania. The lead blocked by Cunningham. Again, just stood his ground. Free kick given. Another dead ball situation that should favour a player like Hagi. Also near the ball, Munteanu. Big men moved up to Pescu, Filipescu. Connolly back to join the wall. Shot blocked by Connolly. Irish defence streaming out, and Staunton onto it. And this is Connolly. Townsend. Gary Kelly. And Connolly staying onside. And he gets to it first ahead of Stella, but cleared off the line by Daniel Prodan. Again, wonderful running by Connolly, who's a bit unlucky, just couldn't get enough power into the header. And Ireland only have the fourth corner.
He was very unlucky there. There just wasn't enough pace on that ball.
Townsend's cross. Trying to find Cunningham. And Stella caught in no man's land. Another corner for the Irish. It doesn't matter when you're 1-0 down, but that's the 5th Irish corner. Only 2 to Romania so far. Staunton with it. Cleared by Petrescu. And Mark Kennedy doing well to win it back. Illy, the goal scorer, getting in his way, and Petrescu finds Filipescu. Some space to move into now for Romania. Moldovan with Cunningham and Staunton doing the defending. And Steve Staunton showing all the experience of his 67 caps in that moment. Irwin, Gary Kelly. Keane. Connolly underneath this one. Another good chest kill. Tackled by Popescu. And throw taken quickly to Ray Houghton. Cross looking for Mark Kennedy. Stella in charge. And we're well into time added on for injuries and stoppages at the end of this first half.
This hasn't been a bad first half from the Irish side, and for those people who knocked them before, they played with a lot of spirit, which is nice to see. They've given everything. Sure, they're going to go down, but overall it hasn't been a bad performance from this Irish team.
Team pass astray. Irwin onto it. Gary Kelly in possession. Irwin continuing on the outside. Back to Houghton. Roy Keane. Townsend. Having a go. Testing Stella, who couldn't hold it. It's a good shot from Andy Townsend. That's the third Ireland they've had on target in this first half. A half where they certainly do not deserve to be 1-0 down.
This is a good strike from Andy, and it's one that the goalkeepers hate. It bobbed just in front of him there, so he had to pick it on the up.
And there goes the final blast of the referee's whistle. From an Irish point of view, not a very successful first half when you consider the amount of play we had. Adrian Illy's goal after 33 minutes, giving Romania the lead, a lead they scarcely deserved. Let's hope we can see more from the Irish in the second half. Half-time here in the Stour Stadium. Romania 1, Ireland 0.
Well, I have to say,
Romania, the Irish, and the referee was there too, waiting for the men in green to join the action. And we're just about to get underway now with Ireland a goal behind, but having performed well. Let's see if they can turn that good play into a goal at the end away to our right, behind which most of the Romanian army seems to be camped. Second half then. Staunton with the first touch for Ireland. Back to goalkeeper Alan Kelly. And he waits for the back four to push up towards halfway. There's Jeff Kenna. Macklin Road with Clare. And the free kick given away by Filipescu. A clash of heads with Andy Townsend. Rubbing his head rather gingerly. Staunton placing the ball. Keane is pushed forward. Taken by Ian Hart. Inside Hadji. Hart might try to shoot here, and he does. He's already scored twice for Ireland, of course, Ian Hart, in just 10 appearances. One of them in this World Cup campaign.
Nice to see the confidence of Ian Hart going inside two players there before taking a strike. And the lad has done very, very well tonight, apart from that one mistake, which had the Romanian forward blazed it over the bar, we probably would have forgotten about it by now.
Staunton. Looking for Connolly. And a free kick to Romania for a little push by the Watford player. Taken casually by the Romanians. Picked up by Popescu. Bosch and Prodan playing it around at the back. Strong ball looking for Petrescu. Headed away by Staunton, helped on by Mark Kennedy. And again, wonderful control by Connolly, and a lovely angle for Ray Houghton to burst through the middle. A chance for Ireland as Houghton breaks clear, and was he taken down? The referee gives a yellow card only to the goalkeeper, and that's surely a penalty for Ireland, though you haven't made it clear yet the referee what he intends to do.
It's got to be a penalty for Ireland. He's yellow carded the referee, which means a foul, but he hasn't given any indication.
No, but the Romanian players moving outside the box, they know it's a penalty kick, and Ireland, with just 2 minutes gone in the second half, have a great chance to equalise, which would be justice served for sure. Houghton in the clear, no doubt about it, the goalkeeper missed the ball, played the man, and really he's very lucky to stay on the pitch.
I don't think we can speak too much of David Connolly's contribution there. not only did he take the ball under severe pressure from the defender, he also managed to get a fantastic ball through. And who else but Ray Houghton would you expect to see running right on, taking it round the goalkeeper. And it's a great moment for Ireland now.
Roy Keane has placed the ball. And a wonderful save by Stelea has kept Romania in the match. Roy Keane with just one goal in his previous international appearances for Ireland. This is his 34th cap, and he couldn't make it two there. Ireland really robbed. But you have to say, if you can't take your chance at a penalty kick situation, you almost deserve not to score. And Roy Keane, unfortunately, has put it to the keeper's right, and he's made a good save.
I think that's indicative of the night that Roy Keane is having. He's having an extremely ordinary game. I think 90% of his passes tonight have been to full-backs and centre-backs.
Corner taken by Kennedy. Onto it comes Houghton, who's been a wonderful success on his return to the Irish team tonight. Hasn't played too many times in the reign of Mick McCarthy. But it was a great run by Houghton to get in the clear for the penalty kick. And here he is again. The Romanians playing football out of defence. And this is their goal scorer, Adrian Illy. Haji moving to his left. Tries to get past Townsend. And cleared away by Staunton. Petrescu. Filipescu. Across to Silinesh. What a disappointment, really. Ireland, who so much deserved to go in level at half-time, have come out here in this second half and continued where they left off. But that Roy Keane penalty miss leaves Romania one in front. Illy finds Haji. Filipescu with the cross. And the header by Moldovan. Under pressure from Kennan. It looked like Moldovan actually left his foot in there on Kennan after he went to ground. He was offside anyway. The flag has been raised on the far side. Ireland take it away. One back by Romania. Selinesh. Houghton with the cover for Ireland. Just past him. Cross comes Kenna. Blocks it out for the throw in.
I get the impression there that that penalty miss and the penalty incident has probably perked the Romanians up now. They realise that they are in a game. They're not going to stroll through it, and they seem to have picked up their game a notch.
Adrian Illy with the throw in. Laid back to him by Munteanu. Selinesh. Kept it in play, just. Ball into the centre. Moldovan. And onto it comes Petrescu. And great covering by Mark Kennedy, who was right back in his own 6-yard box to block away that shot from Daniel Petrescu. Corner kick, the result.
Mark Kennedy did particularly well follow the ball through after some hesitation by Steve Staunton.
Well gathered by Alan Kelly. Only David Connolly forward. Throws it out instead to Gary Kelly. And that's Haji for Romania, who can't keep it in. So Ireland can just slow down the play just a little bit and get their composure back. Keane. Hart to Staunton. Connolly, good first touch. Nice ball inside from Kennedy. Finds Keane. Here's Houghton. Townsend. Excellent midfield play by the Irish. Hart. Staunton. Bit of space for Mark Kennedy. Takes the early cross, and Popescu clears for Romania. Helped on by Filipescu. Onto it comes Staunton. And that wasn't very far away. A right-footed drive from Steve Staunton's maul of 30 yards. Bogdan Stela had it covered.
It's not often you see Steve Staunton go with his right foot, but he struck it quite well. Not too far away. But after that, you see Steve Staunton talking to players. The Irish team are playing with a lot of passion. I know they've been knocked recently, but they're certainly giving everything out there this evening.
Header on from Moldova. Illy gets it back again from Hadji. And the block from Kenny Cunningham, who has used his arm and gets another yellow card. His first in this World Cup group. 8 minutes into the second half. And we've got 5 yellow cards in the referee's notebook. Irwin, who's gone off the field, Gary Kelly, and now Kenny Cunningham. And for the Romanians, there it is, Hadji and the goalkeeper Stela. There's the Irish wall.
This is a very important time for the Irish team to keep their concentration now. Now that the Romanians have stepped it up, we've got to be ever so vigilant.
Free kick, never troubling Kelly's goal. Hadji unable to keep it either low enough or on target. So, the great Georgi Hadji, he used to be deadly from that range. Playing now in Turkey and Galatasaray. Townsend, who's been tireless in midfield, finds Kenna. Gary Kelly, looking for somebody to run up that flank. And here comes Townsend, wins it back, finds Houghton. And here he is again, Houghton. Townsend's onside. Now he's got Connolly in the centre. And Kennedy forced to turn backwards. And here's Gary Kelly. The cross taken by the keeper. And Ireland really should have done better there. There was a chance for a cross to come in earlier with players coming onto the ball. And by the time it arrived, the Romanians had organised.
Yeah, that ball should have been whipped across on the first run from Andy Townsend. By the time he turned back, the Romanian defenders had reorganised themselves.
Push by the Romanian on Ian Hart. Gives Ireland the free kick, and he might have fallen awkwardly here. It certainly seems to be in some pain. Looks like he might have hit his head off the turf as he fell. So treatment required. Mick Byrne, the physio, onto the pitch. Ian Hart winning his 10th cap tonight. Scored twice for the Republic in those games, and he seems to be okay. So from an Irish point of view, all the game is lacking really is a goal. Everything else has been excellent, and the doubters have been largely silenced so far anyway. Throw down with the header away. Ireland win it back. Keane to Staunton. Keane, in fact it was Townsend, finds Kenna, and here's Keane. Kenna. Gary Kelly's up the line, slips inside the challenge of Illy. Connolly looking for it in the space. Cleared away by Filipescu. And now some space for Illy to run into. 2 Romanians forward. Moldovan down the centre. And a tackle by Gary Kelly that gives away a free kick. And the Leeds United defender just cannot believe that one.
That was an incredible run by Gary Kelly. When we lost the ball, he covered all of 60 yards to get back and to make that tackle, which just epitomises the Irish spirit tonight, that they're prepared to do that.
So another position from which a Romanian dead ball expert might profit. Petrescu and Munteanu and Ilya standing over the ball. Dan Petrescu joining them. That's Petrescu placing it. Into the box goes Filipescu, onto the end of the wall at least. Cut short, the shot from Popescu, and the header at the far post by Moldovan, saved by Kelly. So close to making it 2-0 for Romania, and the handball by Hadji gives Ireland the free kick. And really Ireland rushing to get on with it when maybe settling it down might be the better option. An unlucky deflection off the wall found Moldovan as it looped over Ian Hart's head, and Kelly made the save. At the other end, Kennedy's cross, and Gary Kelly with the header on target. Touched by Stella. So, chances at either end.
This is a good cross, very tight position there. And Gary Kelly did very well to get up and get a header on this.
Cunningham kept his ground. The referee has given a free kick against Cunningham when the Romanian player jumped wildly at the ball and never got near it.
It's a strange decision, to say the least.
Here's Popescu. Well covered by Staunton. One back by Hadji to Filipescu. Townsend applying the pressure. Tireless worker in midfield tonight, and he's won it back and found Connolly. Little toe poke across the park finds Kenna, and Houghton is running through the centre, but he's gone offside. Gary Kelly up the line for Jeff Kenna, and out off the Romanian defender Dobosh for the throw in to Ireland. Houghton back to Kenna. Here comes Keane. By the centre defender. The referee claims he was sliding in with his stud showing and gives the free kick to Ireland.
I thought this was a very good tackle. He went in. He won the ball very cleanly. However,
the game of football has changed since your day.
It certainly has.
Nowadays you can't tackle really with any kind of physical intent without getting a free kick given against you. So now a chance for Ireland to try a dead ball kick. Staunton is standing over the ball. Referee is like the park keeper, and here comes Staunton off the wall. Referee wasn't ready. I won't be moved from picking up my litter, so we'll have a free kick taken again. In a previous match for Ireland, I believe Steve Staunton was booked for taking a free kick before the referee blew the whistle. Thank goodness the referee didn't decide on that option this time. All the big men for Romania in their wall, and Staunton again standing over it. And a yellow card. Quite who it's for, I'm not sure. It's either Townsend or the Romanian defender. Looks like Selimesh, who was pushing on Steve Staunton, and he becomes the sixth player to be booked. An hour play. Ireland on the up, and on the far side of the box, the Romanian has gone down. The referee immediately looked over to his linesman to see if he'd seen the incident. The linesman's up on the halfway line and obviously hadn't. All sorts of pushing and shoving going on. And now the Romanians are looking to the other linesman to see if he had seen anything. But as he's on this side of the pitch, he probably couldn't see through all the other activity.
You see it to the left of your screen there now. Yeah, there was some contact.
In that shot, I can't be sure who the Irish player was, but it would seem that he's got away with it. Here it is again.
I'd hate to be the one to say who it was. I'm not quite sure myself.
Going to hit the free kick again. Whipped in and just over the bar. Relief for the Romanians. Ireland seem to be camped down in their half for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Most of it waiting to take this free kick, which Staunton couldn't put on target. Romania on the attack. Staunton half-stopping Hadji. Across. Cleared by Cunningham's head. Popescu. Selimesh. Munteanu. Back to Selimesh. And Kenna having a right old battle with him there. Gary Kelly. Back to Kenna. Hospital ball. Cross from Selimesh, and Cunningham cuts it out. Onto it comes Moldovan. And Ireland really just dwelling on it for that fraction of a second, but they've won the free kick. The late challenge by the Romanian, putting him into the book, and all of a sudden, a match that isn't really a dirty one. The referee is now looking to see who he hasn't booked in the game. That was Moldovan who went into the notebook. Away go Ireland. Houghton in chase. And trying to win it back. Throw into Ireland. Taken quickly to Townsend. You sense the Irish feel that they could actually get one back here. And Houghton has found some space in the box. The cross. Cleared away by Popescu. And that shot straight at Stela by Roy Keane. Similar position from which the Romanians scored, although Keane just a little bit further.
Exactly. The ball just dropping there. Difference is their shot in, ours went straight at the goalkeeper.
Kenna's header. Keane underneath it. Won by Popescu to Hadji. Staunton can't hold him up this time. Back comes Mark Kennedy to cover. The run from Filipescu. Hadji moves inside. And that back heel just gives it to Mark Kennedy. Quick ball up to Connolly. Connolly under pressure from Frodan.
I think the referee got that one right. Connolly was being fouled at that particular
Pushed
stage.
by Frodan on Connolly gives Ireland the free kick. It's been a very exciting second half. But so far, Ireland with nothing to show for their efforts. Staunton. Cunningham. Kenna. Back to Cunningham. Away straight to Kenna. And Connolly on the run. No offside. Picked clear by Munteanu. Cunningham's header straight to Houghton. Ireland winning everything so far in the second half. Staunton. Blocked by Popescu. And Staunton did well to get that back to Townsend. Houghton. Gives it away. But Moldovan can't find Popescu. Now Munteanu to Popescu. Moldovan. Popescu. And Hadji. Chip over the top, should be Alan Kelly's, and is. Staunton drives. Keane. Back to Staunton. Connolly was blocked in his progress, and Staunton's through ball, though it looked a poor one, was actually well directed.
I can't overemphasise the extra dimension that young Connolly has given us tonight here. We're well used to Cass and Big Niall Quinn. This lad is so pacey and he's so mobile. I'd like to see him playing alongside one of those lads, probably Niall Quinn.
Fouled by Moldovan, who came in from the back. And then Hart prevented from taking the quick free kick to Kenna. But on they go with it anyway. Kenna. Gary Kelly. Looking for Connolly. Only half cleared by Romania to Selimesh. Under pressure from Kelly. Ireland win the throw in. There's Jordanescu. And there's the result from another World Cup game today. Lithuania goes second in our group with that 1-0 win in Liechtenstein. That could prove very important a little bit later on in this World Cup Group 8. A chance to catch one's breath. Approaching the midway point of an absorbing second half. Ireland failing to equalise when Roy Keane's penalty was saved. Chances at either end following. And Ireland very much in the ascendant, as they were for most of the first half. It was Adrian Nilly's goal after 32 minutes, which has Romania in front. Popescu. Munteanu gives it away to Houghton. Keane, Houghton. This is like the Irish midfield of old. They've passed the ball around well, they've won the ball back well, and there's been great support for the ball carrier all over the pitch. Here's Kennedy. Houghton. Keane. Hart. Cunningham. And Kenna. Gary Kelly On the run. Past Selimesh. Can he get the cross in? And it comes off Selimesh for the corner kick. Or at least it looked like a corner kick, but the referee seems to have given the free kick to Romania. Gary Kelly adjudged to have fouled the Romanian defender. And then we give it straight back to Ireland. Kenna. Keane. Staunton. Looking for Connolly. Tackle from behind. Winning the free kick. Staunton trying to get on with it quickly. It's the central defender, Daniel Prodan from Atletico Madrid, who stopped him from taking it quickly. And Romania about to make a substitution. Anyway, the cross comes in. Off the head of the Romanian defender, and behind for a corner kick to Ireland. 7th in all, second of this second half. Cunningham getting forward as Gary Kelly takes it. And that just didn't fall kindly for Ian Hart. And in there is Connolly, but he couldn't get on the end of it. Another half chance goes a-begging as Ireland continue to take the game to Romania.
This was unlucky here, although it was quite a missed kick from Hart. The lad was unlucky there not to make contact. Had he made any sort of contact, I'm sure we would have scored. He's done particularly well, Connolly, and he's run himself into the ground here tonight.
Moldovan's header. Staunton. Finds Mark Kennedy. Chest kill into Townsend. Kennedy has it again. Staunton. Keane inside. Has Kenneth to his right. And really Romania unable to stop this wonderful midfield performance by the Irish. They've dictated the game for at least 3/4 of its duration so far. Kenneth finds Houghton under pressure. And there to help him. And the Romanian did well. Munteanu taking it away. Moldovan. Hadji running on the outside. Staunton for once gave him a yard. Now here's the danger. Hadji past Staunton. Can he pull it back straight to Alan Kelly with 3 yellow shirts waiting in the 6-yard box? And Romania had a great moment there. But Hadji just couldn't find one of his own players. The pace of the second half has been quite extraordinary. Keane, Houghton, Mark Kennedy hugging that left touchline.
Superb ball there from Ray Houghton.
Blocked by Petrescu. And the free kick given against Kennedy, who just can't understand why. So, a change for Romania. Their first, Gica Popescu, who came into the match with a knee injury, is going to be replaced. He's scored 8 goals in this World Cup campaign so far, but there won't be any more tonight for him. He takes his leave, and onto the field comes Josip Rotaru, a very popular choice this here in the Stour Stadium. Rotaru, the 34-year-old, making his first appearance for his country in 5 years. He plays in the centre of midfield. It won't mean any tactical change for the Romanians. Cunningham's head. Keane. Rotaru with his first touch, and onto it comes Cunningham. Gary Kelly putting the Romanians under pressure. If anything, Ray, this has been an even better performance by the Irish in the second half.
Certainly has. It certainly has. It would be nice to see Roy Keane go forward more with the ball. All his passes are to defenders, and he's not really contributing the way Ray Houghton is contributing. They're prepared to take chances, prepared to go forward, and although they talk about Roy Keane as world class, until he does that and adds that to his game, in my opinion, he'll never will be world class. I think he's a very, very good, ordinary player with a great engine, who wins a lot of tackles, and there it stops.
Mark Kennedy finds Steve Staunton, and here is Roy Keane. Kenna and Gary Kelly to his right. Here's Kenna. Inside Illy. Finds Ray Houghton, who can get the cross in from here. No green shirt underneath it, and that was a good cross from Houghton. Cleared over the top for Moldovan to run onto it. Ian Hart. And Steve Staunton there. But the pass from Moldovan, a poor one, and Hadji forced wide. But here he is again, Hadji cutting inside and unable to trouble Alan Kelly. So for once the Irish defence unhinged. And here's Filipescu winning it back for Romania. The leggy midfielder trying to get past Staunton. You sense that the Irish are beginning to tire as we enter the final 17 minutes of the match. It's Ireland who have really dictated the entire pace of the game. And they've had to work really hard to keep on top. But now that the Romanians have just absorbed all that pressure and retained their 1-0 advantage given to them by Adrian Nilly after 32 minutes, the feeling has to be that Ireland could find themselves under a lot of pressure in this closing stages. Petrescu.
It wouldn't surprise me to see the likes of Tony Cascarino come on, and we really need something from this game. And if Mick were to throw another front player on, who could blame it at this stage of the game?
Illy, the goal scorer, gets the shot away. Kelly had the angles all worked out, and he finds Roy Keane. Houghton looking for the short ball. Opts for Ian Hart instead. Townsend on a good run up the inside left channel, and he's gone over the top for him. Can he get the cross in? Well, blocked by the defender and cleared away by Petrescu running back. Excellent work by Anton Dobosh to block Townsend. Ireland just with the throw, and now we're making a double change as Ireland decide to bring in fresh legs. Tony Cascarino and John Goodman, the two front men, are going to join the action. Presumably David Connolly will be one of the players to go off. It's been a quite outstanding fifth cap for his country for Connolly. No goal to show for it, but he's done an enormous amount of work. Ian Hart going off the pitch for Cascarino. Cascarino coming on to win his 69th cap. And the other player going off, David Connolly. Ireland with a corner kick once these changes have been made.
Well, I think both of those lads gone off the field now can certainly hold a head up high. They've added an awful lot to us tonight, and they've both done very, very well. There's a row in the penalty area there because Cass won't be pushed around, and rightfully so.
Tony Cascarino was under some pressure there from Filipescu, the number 5 for Romania. Just letting the referee know what was going on.
In the modern game, in the penalty area, it's okay for defenders to step in front of forwards and to tug at forwards. But once they do it back, they don't like it so much. And Big Cass wasn't having any there, and he's correct to do that.
So, 2 forwards for Ireland, 1 defender taken off. A positive move by Mick McCarthy. And if we got a goal, it would be richly deserved. Staunton is minding the defensive duties at the moment, but most of the Romanian players back in their own half as Kenna brings it forward for Ireland. Can't get past Filipescu, who gives away another free kick. So more pressure from Ireland. Staunton across to take it. Also there, Gary Kelly. And it's Gary Kelly. Just slip and loses out to Selimesh. But wonderful working back by Kelly to win the ball. The free kick given against him. Adrian Nilly happy to hold the ball up.
I hate to see when Steve Staunton has come all the way over here to take a free kick. We've got the big lads on, and then we end up losing the ball down the right-hand side. It surely must go into the penalty area.
Hadji in a familiar position to the right of the Irish penalty area. Petrescu outside him, the back heel, the cross, and off Ray Houghton for a corner kick. It beat Jeff Kenna in the air, but Houghton was right back in there. What a player, 35 years old, winning his 68th cap tonight, and it's been one of his best ever performances in a green shirt.
I think it's marvellous to look at Hadji's skills as well. He's got every trick in the book. He also has that explosive pace over 2 or 3 yards.
And here he is again, this time on the left side of the penalty area. Illy, the goal scorer. Double covered by Kenna and Kennedy. Back to Hadji. Forced inside by the Irish defenders. Flicked over the top. A chance for Romania. Staunton back to cover. Wonderful defending. And Alan Kelly very relieved to see that one come off Staunton's head. There was Anton Dobosh there, the number 4, who had got forward. And Prodan also forward. So, 12 minutes to go. Still 1-0 to Romania. Gary Kelly's throw in. Cascarino in some space in the box. And showing some neat skill to find Roy Keane. Gary Kelly. Cross there, a poor one. Didn't touch the defender. And for once the Irish not using the ball when they had it in the danger area.
The Irish defence have actually gone 2 for 2. Steve Staunton has come in a little bit alongside Kenny Cunningham, and they are taking chances. They are leaving themselves open to a quick breakaway.
Yes, a 3-4-3 formation for Ireland really in this closing 10 minutes or so. Staunton with the free kick, aimed towards Cascarino, won by the Romanian defence, and here comes Cunningham. Finds Gary Kelly. So John showed his inexperience in that forward position, didn't quite know what he wanted to do, and ended up giving away the throw in. Serimesh, one of 7 players booked in the match, finds Hadji with a good throw. Blocked by Jeff Kenna. Push by Hadji, just putting Houghton off. 2 players under the ball again, and the referee giving the free kick. And Houghton has gone down. I don't quite know what happened there.
Ray Houghton has been hit with something there from the crowd. He was on his own when it happened, grabbed his head immediately, and certainly a stone or something like that.
Yes, Ray Houghton right on the touchline, and the pitch here very close to the crowd in the Stour Stadium. Houghton obviously letting the referee know that what's happened here is that something has been thrown onto the pitch, and the linesman on this near side has called the attention of the referee, so he may well have seen what happened there. They're conferring now off camera as Ray Houghton feels his head. And now the referee going towards Ray Houghton. Nick Byrne on to give him some treatment. If something was thrown from the crowd, there isn't much the referee can do about it right now. Something that would have to be contained in his match report. And FIFA would have to take appropriate action at a later date. It's hard to know how badly hurt Ray Houghton is. Certainly looks to be in some discomfort. And there's a shot of something on the pitch. It can't be quite made out what it is. The game will continue with a throw-in for the Irish. Hopefully the referee will add on the time wasted for that whole situation. 8 minutes left. John Goodman gets his first touch, cut out by Filipescu. Cunningham with the header for Ireland. Onto it came Rotario. There's Keane. Staunton. He's got Mark Kennedy outside, several green shirts in the box, a poor cross, cleared away by Dobosh. Cunningham's header. Townsend, Staunton, back to Townsend. Helped on by Houghton. Goodman might be in here. Mike Cascarino as well. And it was cleared away by Daniel Prodan. But the linesman's flag had been raised for an offside against the Irish striker, Tony Cascarino. Romanians making another change. About to be withdrawn. Their goal scorer, Adrian Illy. Got that goal back in the 32nd minute. His second goal for his country in his 13th international. And he's going to be replaced by Gabriel Popescu, who plays in the Romanian league with Universitatea Craiova. Cunningham's header. Won by Rotario. Gary Kelly. Back to Kenna. Keane. Pass from Kenna put him under a lot of pressure. And a free kick given. Ireland streaming forward. Kenna's cross. Looking for Cascarino. He wins the header. And onto it comes Roy Keane, who gets the shot on target. And Stella had to be down quickly. A much better strike from Roy Keane that time.
Here you go, a good challenge from Cascarino. And a good strike from Roy Keane.
Romanians quite happy just to play out this closing phase of the match, 1-0 ahead. They've shown no inclination to increase their lead. They've shown no inclination to get players forward. And Ireland, to their eternal credit, have kept taking the ball to them. The under-21s were very unlucky last night to lose 1-0, and here we are with the Irish team with another chance. Will it break for a green shirt? Cleared away by Romania. Won by Kenna in the air. Cleared by Silinas. Staunton. And here's Goodman, trying to get past Anton Dobos. Bodan straight to Keane. Staunton. Mark Kennedy with the touch inside. Here's Goodman. Headed clear, straight to Andy Townsend.
That's good battling from Andy Townsend. This Irish team still have the desire to go and get a result of some sort out here.
Kenna's chip forward. Can't find Cascarino. Hadji. He's still a tricky customer, no doubt about it. Made the space, but then lost out to Townsend. And Senesh just clears it up the field. And Kelly practically playing as a sweeper. As Jeff Kenna takes it away for Ireland. Cascarino, beaten in the air. A free kick given against the big Irish striker. So more precious seconds to be wasted. And for Ireland, well, if it stays like this, it will be no points in Group A tonight. But this Irish side can take a lot of credit for this performance.
I think the sad point is, had they performed like this in Macedonia, then it would be in a different ball game completely.
Kelly trying to put Silinas under pressure. Little tug of the shirt, free kick to Romania. And that free kick was taken, but the Romanians decided to take it from further out the pitch. And now Munteanu. 3.5 minutes to go. And the substitution for Romania, as Hadji is to be withdrawn. Georgi Hadji, his 105th cap now over. Nothing added to the 29 goals he's scored for his country. And he gets a huge round of applause from this Bucharest crowd. Onto the field will come another Georgi Craiova, who plays with Real Sociedad in Spain. Free kick from Anton Dobos. Staunton's header. Townsend beaten by Rotario. Cross looking for Moldovan, who is the only Romanian player forward. Just too high for him. And harmlessly behind for the goal kick. Taken quickly by Kelly. Finds Staunton. Goodman with the run. Just too long for him. Onto it comes Ray Houghton, finds Mark Kennedy. Tackled by Petrescu. And this is the new man, Albiano. Fresh legs, bursting through the middle. Brilliantly stopped by Staunton and picked up by Ray Houghton.
I'm absolutely amazed at Ray Houghton's ability to run. He's covered every inch of the turf tonight. He just was set off there a few minutes ago on a 40-yard run, and yet he was back there picking up the loose ball. It's incredible where he gets his energy from.
Sillish. Goodman trying to get the tackle in. Throw into Ireland. But time running out. At the end of the day, we'll look back at this game and see perhaps nothing for the Irish, but you never know. Still a couple of minutes to go. My, how they deserve it. And John Goodman has it for Ireland. Keane. Blocked out by Filipescu and Rotario. And Townsend trying to find Kelly. Here's Staunton. Keane takes it up. Back to Staunton. Here's Keane again. Finds Townsend. The early cross. Looking for Castorino. And that looked like it came off one of the defenders in the end, but not intentionally. So no back pass. I'm not so sure that Goodman got a touch on that, but if he did, Stalea was very well placed. Long ball finds Moldovan offside. And a chance for Ireland to get the free kick.
You know, for all the criticism that Mick McCarthy has had since in the last month particularly, I think some credit should be given to Mick McCarthy for doing what he believes is right. The players have reacted.
And here they are again in the Romanian penalty area. Houghton trying to find Castorino. Keane blocks it in the centre of midfield. Finds Kennedy. Blocked by Petrescu. Throw into Ireland. And we've passed the 90-minute mark. So precious seconds these for the Irish as Kennedy throws into Staunton. We're back here trying to find some space, and Romania give away another throw in. Houghton has run into space in the box, cut out by Anton Dobosh. Townsend, Staunton, the two Aston Villa men. They're under pressure and being forced back by Criobianu. Here's Rotario. Petrescu. Criobianu. All the substitutes combining before Roy Keane wins it back. And the free kick given against the Manchester United player.
As I was saying earlier on, I think a lot of credit has to go to Mick McCarthy on this. We're very quick to knock him. I think we should be just as quick to praise him for this performance from the Irish team and for having the courage to do what he's done tonight with the likes of Connolly and playing Hart and Cunningham at the back. We were all concerned about it, but it's his job, and I hope the FAI will back him completely on it, particularly as we get new young players in this side.
Cunningham can't clear it away, and the pressure from the substitutes. And Kenna gets it back to Alan Kenny, who will surely pump it long and quickly down the pitch. Instead he throws it to Kenna. Over a minute of stoppage time play. Houghton finds Gary Kelly. Keane. The early ball to Mark Kennedy. Staunton goes on the run. Green shirt streaming into the box as Ireland come looking for the equaliser. Here's Ray Houghton, looking perhaps for a penalty kick, not getting it. Here's Keane. Yellow shirt all around the ball, and Keane struggling to get back to block the Romanians, which he eventually did at the expense of a free kick. Flames being lit around the Stour Stadium as the Romanian fans celebrate what they think might be their most important victory so far in Group 8 of this World Cup campaign. Before this match, 5 wins, 19 goals done against. Maybe now 6 wins, 20 goals, and still none against, unless Ireland can find something 3 minutes into stoppage time. Keane. And the ball played early for Goodman to chase, cleared away by Dobosh. The wild acclaim of the local fans who know they've been in a game and who've been very quiet in the second half. Silenced by an excellent Ireland performance, one of the best we've seen under manager Mick McCarthy. Staunton, out. Still we play on, 48 minutes. Looking for Castorino. One in the air by Stella. almost feel the relief as 25,000, mostly Romanian fans, look forward to the last blast of the referee's whistle. Well, if Ireland are to lose this match, they certainly won't push Romania at the top of the group, but this team is good enough to come second, and who knows, by the end of the year there's a few young players out there who might have the experience to make a good fist of a second leg or a first leg player. That cross by Houghton, gathered by the keeper, and still we play on, deep into stoppage time. Almost 4 minutes of it played. The referee telling the goalkeeper to get on with it. And it's won again by Staunton. And Cunningham, who had his foot raised, free kick given. This is one very pernickety referee.
Yeah, he had his foot raised, he won the ball clearly, there was no danger of injury in the opponent, and yet they give free kicks.
And taken by Dobosh from at least 45, maybe even 50 yards. Kelly scampering after that one to get the goal kick taken quickly. The whistles go up in the ground. 49 and a half minutes played now in the second half, and still we go on. Alan Kelly, under pressure, gets it away to Gary Kelly. Castorino, Houghton, and here goes Gary Kelly. Now, a good early cross, no time for that. The final blast is gone, and the cheers of the crowd tell you that there's relief in Bucharest tonight. Romania record their 6th win out of 6 in World Cup Group 8. Ireland slipped to another defeat under manager Mick McCarthy, but this was a defeat tinged with all the positive things that we could bring to the game. This was an excellent Ireland performance. Roy Keane's penalty 2 minutes into the second half could have brought us back level, but in the end, Adrian Lee's goal after 32 minutes gave Romania the points. The final score in Bucharest, Romania 1, the Republic of Ireland 0.
And this is the Group 8 table. Now, Ireland